Okay, getting back to this episode of On the Board, I want to discuss what was actually going on the board. In the first part, I gave you this basic overview and told you what was happening here. But in this section, part 2, I want to show you what we're actually looking at here. So I'm not going to give you the close-ups of these because, like I said, I'm going to render those in another episode, which will be the self-indulgence series, right, where I show you the finished works from bringing up, as I would like to remind you, bringing up images, you know, from old sketches and whatnot, into realized forms, because I like the imagery or whatever, for whatever reasons they were saved, and to rescue the image and bring it up into a fully realized piece of work. So to start with, I'll show you which ones I've decided to tackle and which ones are on the board as of right now. So straight off the top, I want to get something out of the way here, because, you know, as we all know, things don't always work out the way you would like them to, you know, in life. You might have more success on canvas than in life, and for some people it's the opposite. Whatever, but things don't always go according to plan. Now, back in the end of 2024, I had brought some images to your attention on the onboard series, telling you about they be up and coming and finished, but I didn't quite get them done. So right away I want to bring up the ones that I've already mentioned that are getting done now, that are coming into completion. And that would be, you remember some of these from previous episodes. There's this one, the nature girl on the horse thing. Now this one, see, and again, remember, I was telling you that a lot of this is on the back of computer printout paper, because a lot of this work was done in a machine shop, night shifts, afternoon shifts, as things were running. Random sketches, brought home, whatever, after work. That was the one. And this one, you can see I've already bombarded it with white correction fluid in an attempt to get rid of some of the bad lines. And I've been elaborating on it. And it's up there on the board. I expanded it, meaning brought it up in size. But there it is. You can see there's some more line work there. But again, I don't want to bring it into sharp focus because I want to show it when it's completed. Next one that I had shown is this one here. It was this insect morph female butterfly imagery kind of thing going on here. Just a very basic sketch, as you can see, right? Now this is, oh sorry, that's not the original. That's a photocopy, actually. Here's the original. It's on the other side of the plastic. There it is. You still see the line of the graph paper and stuff on it. But yeah, you know, that was the rough imagery. And this one, in fact, has been completed, and I'll be making some photocopies of it. It's up here, right here in the corner. Again, I don't want to get too far into detail with it. I'd rather show it completely and up close in the self-indulgent series, and I will. And I'm very pleased with this. It went quite well. Okay. So next to boot was this one here I had also mentioned. And you can go back and check the episodes and find these images there, I'm sure. But this one was from about 2002, and it was part of a project I was working on as a trial with Dark Horse Comics, where they, at that time, they'd send you a script and you could send in your work, paper, you know, copies and stuff. And this was one of the sketches that got left out of the panels that I used, but I decided, hey, you know, there's something here. Maybe I can use this. And so I went ahead and took this original, which was on the back of a shipping slip, actually, and I took that original, and it's up here, blown up. And what you're looking at here now is, sorry, let me just pull that over a bit so we can see a bit more there. I'll push it back in a minute. But yeah, you have the original forms here, but and more has been drawn in. I've penciled in, right? I've penciled in the backgrounds, the rest of the shape of the figure, the arm. That was a big issue for me at that time. Yeah, and started in with inking with brush work along this figure here. You know, you can see it just very. That's why you can see ink on the page as well as the pencil. You know, it's in a process. So this one's just, I would say it's completely pencil, but I'll give it actually one more thing. It's going to be a reflection of the face in here that I'm going to put in. But that one's, like I said, pretty much done when it comes to the pencil work. It needs to be inked, copied, and shrunk down. And again, you can see like this is 11 by 17. It's been blown up dramatically. Okay, so that's that one. Next up to boot are a couple that I don't think I had shown previously, but they're up there too. There's this one here from 2008. It's kind of a imagery of like a, I guess you could call it a, you know, a Grim Reaper, female figure form, some sort of plastic garment, or plastic or liquid garment even. I don't even know how to explain it, but it was, you know, there's a moon in the back. Anyway, yeah, moving right along. Actually, let me push this back to the side here. Yeah, it's here. It's blown up again into like an 11 by 17, and I've gone ahead and started roughing in the pencils, but I also came in with the ink. I have a tendency to do that a lot lately. I go, like, you know, the normal process is to pencil in the work, and once you get your complete drawings, I mean, in the industry, right? It used to be. Now a lot of that inking is done by computer. I don't want to get into that. But the thing is, what you've got here is a sample of that work being blown up into an 11 by 17, but at the same time as the pencils are going down, a lot of the ink work is done, right? And there's still a lot of structure work here and here to do on a couple of the doors, and that will bring that one up into completion too. So there's that. There's the Grim Reaper lady thingy, whatever you want to see there. Now, yeah, so there's that one. Then there's this figure here. It's a young lady holding a candle. And I've been thinking about the backgrounds for that. Whether or not I'm going to put in backgrounds, I don't know. But I like the figure and I like the drawing. And this is actually ballpoint pen. And it is... This one, too, is from 2005. And, yeah. So, although I thought of the background, I haven't etched that in the pencil. But there it is down there in a blown up form. It's on a... What is that? What do you call that? Is that... Yeah, 8 by 11? 8 by 11, right? And there she is. But, again, that one's ballpoint pen. See, a lot of the times you can get away with going in and out of India ink or Sharpies and black ballpoint pen. I'm not sure which one I like best. Like, sometimes you can, you know... I've done a lot of ballpoint pen work, but I haven't honed in on it and tried to master the craft. But I like it. I like it a lot, and we'll see what comes up with them. So just to give an overall, because I noticed some of them I didn't mention the dates, and what we're looking at here is 2008. This one, I mean the original sketches, 2002, right? Over here. We're talking like, I think it's 2004 even, as early as that. Not sure about this one. This one, here, we're talking 2006. Here, 2008, yeah. And this one, 2005. Okay. Now, and these ones, these references I didn't mention. These are recreations. So basically, these are my renditions of works that I was inspired by. So you got 6 originals here, but these 2 are not, I mean, they're my original, it's my original work, my original hand, but they are kind of dedicated to inspirations. And one of the inspirations, of course, is the King Kirby here. And it's one panel that I found in the Silver Surfer epic that Stan, and a lot of people didn't like it, but visually I thought it was stunning, right? But between Stan and Jack that they got together with, and this is one panel, folks, and it's a complete panorama. Like, it's amazing. I mean, this guy was incredible. The action, the tension he could capture. It's a city, just the surfer coming down, you know, just above the street with traffic in the below and through the old architecture and stuff. A lot of it's randomly made up by Kirby or whatever, but brilliant, brilliant. India ink, Sharpies, you know, using a brush, using a pen, whatever, bringing that in. I left the captions out because I thought I might write something in there. Again, I'll come up close to these in the self-indulgence episode following this. And this one up here is, you might recognize, hold on now, let's see here, is a picture of Tarna from the heavy metal movie. What is that, 81, 82? The first one, not the Fact 2. Where Tarna, it's the last story of the series, where Tarna's coming into the bar, where she has the swinging doors, Western style. She's walking through. You got all this elaborate, futuristic bar stool stuff going on here. And I was looking at this again on film last night, and the color in it, spectacular. As I really looked at it and focused in on it, I thought that was amazing. This one's finished. It's ready for copying before I start a coloring sequence. And that in itself is going to be fun as hell. I mean, I'm not really sure how I'm going to approach it. I might make several copies so I can experiment with colors. So that's those. Oh, and this recreation down here, as you can see, it's just mostly, it's rough sketch. It's a smattering of characters. It's the Avengers all on, what is it, the Adapter, or the, I think his name is, the Absorber, or what, not, what is it, I can't remember the character's name. And actually, this particular reference that I got this from, I got it from the Marvel Universe series from back in, 85, 86. And I couldn't get, I offhand, I can't tell you who the artist was that I'm recreating from here. But it's the same picture, and the figures are in the same position and stuff. It was more, in the center, right, is Captain Marvel delivering a punch, right, in the head of this foe. They're all kind of ganging up on him. I guess he had the edge at the time or whatever. But just a rough sketch of that. I don't know the artist. If I get it, I'll put it up there. But maybe someone else knows. Maybe when I show the reference in the Self-Indulgence series, someone could tell us. So that's all of them, right? The recreations and the originals. As I say, this is a technique I've been using, reusing in the last little while. The idea of working my way around the board, a little bit on this, a little bit on that, a little bit, rotating until you have several works done. Oh, and I didn't mention, this you recognize as Captain America here. This was actually, I want to call it reference, but it's not quite. I'd say it's more inspired by a picture, and I'll show that in the Self-Indulgence series too. It was an old bodybuilding ad, but I looked at the figure and I thought, that reminds me of Cap. Something there. The energy of this pose is there. But I, of course, went about it my own way. It didn't involve the right leg, which I had to put in myself. But I gave the figure a bulkier quality to putting girth on the muscle bellies and that sort of thing. The figure's coming along in a unique way, using a little bit of stippling, pointillism, because actually the photo itself kind of appeared that way when I blew up the photo. You know what I mean? You could see like pixels. It's poor quality, but the basic image is very powerful. So I decided to go with it. Now I don't know if I'm going to put figures in the back or a background scene, but we'll wait and see on that. And that's what that one's about. And that's current. That's now. That couldn't be much more now. And you know, they're all now. These things are happening now, but a lot of these come from previous sketches, so to speak. And a lot of the work does not, like the work that I put in last night on these pencils and stuff. So there you have it. That's pretty much all of it. I had to put that in there to just set up for the self-indulgent series where I show you the work up close and stuff. But that's what's on the board lately. And if you see part one of this episode of On the Board, if you backtrack back a bit, you'll see that there was a painting that was completed from April that I put up there to show and explain how that kind of work came about too. So if you want, go check that out. Do whatever the fuck you want, really. If you haven't noticed, I don't I don't want to give you attitude and say I don't care, but I think there were some people out there that didn't realize that I meant it when I said, as much as I appreciate my subscribers and seeing someone subscribe and show support, I'm really not about the channel per se, and that I just want to put some things up there. And yeah, there'll be times where I can show you what I did and how I did it and that sort of thing. That's about it. So, you know, if you're looking for more in this episode, talk to this guy.